Welcome to this Bible Insight. In the second book of Samuel, chapter number 11, verse 14, the Bible says, "In the morning, David wrote a letter to Joab and sent it with Uriah. And in the letter he wrote, 'Put Uriah in the front line, where the battle is hottest. Then pull back and leave him exposed, so that he may be killed.'" What a very sad statement. You know, Uriah was a loyal soldier. This letter came from his boss, the king. When he was in the battlefield, some mistakes took place at home. The king was determined to cover, and someone had to go down. Uriah was the victim. You know, later he was killed because the letter was intentional. The letter said, "Then pull back and leave him exposed, so that he may be killed." Dear friends, Uriah did not die because he could not handle the intensity of the battle in the front line, but he died because of negligence of the people that were supposed to support him in the battle zone. His very own people, his fellow soldiers, his very good friends, his trusted companions sold him out to the enemy. Those who were supposed to cover him, the people he trusted with his back, later exposed him for the enemy to devour his life. The paradox here is, the true enemies of Uriah were not those he was fighting in the front line, but those he was expecting to protect him from the back. We must understand that Uriah was a skillful, well-trained, disciplined, and a very loyal soldier. He was one of the best in David's army, but still he could not fight in the battle alone. He needed a faithful, reliable, dependable, and honest friends to have his back. In this, dear friends, I learned that in every field of life that God has ordained us to operate in, you might be the smartest, you might be the best, you might be rich, you might be full of knowledge, you might be famous. But I want to tell you one thing: there are things that you cannot do alone. There are things that you need to work with somebody having your back. You need me, I need you. Now, it is not that this young soldier was inexperienced or weak or careless. The real issue here is not weakness or carelessness. The real issue here is negligence. As a result, dear friends, I have seen strong men and strong women of God have died in the field because of negligence. Even in the corporate world, good soldiers, good ministers have been fatally wounded in the line of duty because of indifference, jealousy, and well-weaponized character assassination. We sometimes have darkened our views. We sometimes have darkened our perception towards our colleagues, towards the very people that we called friends, towards the people that were there for us. At the end of the day, helping the devil to destroy their lives. And we see their ministries, their calling, their dreams coming down. My friends, when we shift back in times of trouble and in times of need, very innocent and faithful people die, either physically, financially, emotionally, or spiritually. When we pull back and expose our brothers, we become co-workers with the enemy. At the end of the day, we shall have succeeded in being successful in the wrong assignment. Remember, God is on watch. One day, this capital question will knock your door. The very question that God asked Cain. He said, Cain, where is your brother Abel? God will hold us accountable for neglecting our brothers and sisters in times of need. Sometimes, I have seen people walk out of churches, walk out of institutions, walk out of their families, walk out of friendships and relationships, simply because the people they trusted pulled back in times of need, and as a result, they got exposed to the enemy. Let's be careful not to neglect one another, especially in times of need and in times of trouble. Be a true brother. Be a true sister. It doesn't cost you anything. Why must you pretend to be a true brother? Why must you pretend to be a true sister? Behind this person, you are pulling back to leave him or her exposed to the enemy. Bear one another's burden, as the Bible says, and in doing so, we fulfill the law of Christ, as our brother Paul reminded us in the book of Galatians chapter 6 and verse number 2. Dear friend, I am your Uriah. You are my Uriah. I have your back. You have my back. Let's not pull back and expose one another. I am strong when you are behind me. You are strong when I'm behind you. Otherwise, in isolation or in our own, we are all vulnerable. We are all weak. In the entire story, dear friends, I see death coming not from the enemy's camp, coming not from an enemy, but death coming from within. Death coming from a trusted friend. Death coming from somebody you served with loyalty. Death coming from someone that this soldier gave his life to protect. Death coming from the very trusted fellow. My big question to you as I finish: did you pull back? Check on your friends. Check on the people that have been there for you. Did you pull back and leave them exposed for the enemy? Until next time, this is your brother Evans Kochoo.